Like, how many years do you think it took you to reach to the point of, like, coming from now you're married, you have a child, to founding Drop Access and all that? Like, do you think it took a lot of time?
Yeah, it did. It took a very long time to build this to the point where I feel like finally it's now coming to fruition. It really did, because I started working within the impact space in 2016.
The journey to founding Drop Access. Now you've like graduated.
Yeah.
Did you get a job, or have you founded this company? I'm just curious how you now got into the Norah that we know, one of the biggest women in STEM in Kenya.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like maybe how was that journey? Like, how did you start off up to where you are?
Oh, Rachel, the journey to Drop Access. So I graduated from University of Nairobi in 2014, and so much of my time being at University of Nairobi, I used to be told, myself and other people, other women, that, oh, you guys, you're so few, you're so niche, you're going to get jobs, this is such a promising career path. But when I graduated in 2014, I didn't get a job. That is something that actually shocked me. I did a lot of interviews, I did a lot of applications, I just didn't get a job. But I got a lot of internships. I did internships in sales, I did internships in water pumps, I did internships at the energy regulator, then it was called ERC. I did internships at Davis and Shatcliffe. Like, I did quite a number of internships and short jobs. And I was yo-yoing all over the place, whether it's from sales, whether it's from the petroleum sector. Then I found myself doing an internship in a renewable energy company called African Solar Designs. I think getting into African Solar Designs was just the beginning of me being the person that I am today, because then I truly got to focus on renewable energy solar, and I got to be part of such exciting projects of developing solar solutions for flower farm through a USAID program called USAID Powering Agriculture. It was called Power Ag. So we were doing energy efficiency. That time when I was at African Solar Design is when I went to study to be a certified energy manager, to be an energy auditor, but also somebody who implements energy efficiency solutions. So I did energy efficiency solutions for buildings, for flower farms, developing solar solutions that would be appropriate for them. And solar was different then. It was very costly. It was mostly considered for like larger corporations and big industries that had the money. So even the ticket sizes were like given by the likes of USAID who say, you know what, we're going to sink in $1 billion USD to build agriculture and see ways of how we can make Kenya efficient, because agriculture in the flower farm is consuming lots of water and lots of energy. So I came to learn really what solar could do. But then at the back of my head, I could see the statistics, or even read the statistics and have the realization that as much as we're promoting this solar, the people who need it the most are not getting it. The rural communities, the people who are in off-grid and last-mile areas, they're not the one getting this solution, and they'll never get it if we only fund flower farms, if we only fund industries that will actually afford it. I think having that realization, I slowly start to transition my mindset into how do we make solar affordable for the people who need it the most. The statistics, the 500 million people who don't have access to electricity. How do we make it that they actually do afford it, and also they can access it, to just help them go one more day, help them do their homeworks, help them get water accessibly. And I started looking into small-sized solar technologies, or even how to scale down solar technologies to things that are meaningful. And I think also then the engineering of building stuff kicked in, because I'm like, I imagine a solution that could do this and that. It's not in the market, but maybe I could build it. So I did an internship at African Solar for like around 6 months. I was supposed to be confirmed into the industry, into the company. Then I quit. Yes, I was actually supposed to get my first official job. It was a very good company. Then I quit. I quit because One of the staff members, one of my colleagues, called Wilkista, used to be a former student at Starry Girls School and Center, and she told me that, Nora, I feel like as much as we can't still get solar to be a small size, if we start with a concept like school, it could possibly work. Schools as maybe we start with a smaller size solar plant that could power the schools, power the IT lab, power power pumping, and other areas of the school. And something called the Cool Green campaign was born. So the Cool Green campaign was a concept, or rather, what Wilkista now founded, and the aim was to build sustainability for schools in Kenya. And we applied for a grant from the Zayed Sustainability Prize, and we actually got a grant of 100,000 USD to develop a solar plant for Starry Girls. And Starry Girl in Kiambu was the first school in Kenya, the first public high school to actually have a solar plant that was powering the IT, that was powering, they have a farm that they plant stuff and food stuff for the school, but also just to teach the girls about agriculture and so forth. But then also it powers the street lights for security for the girls. The reason why Starry was quite special and important because Starry then was a fully charitable institution. So we argued out that this school hosts girls from really poor communities, and it actually still does, really poor communities in Kenya, but they're excellent. They excelled in their schools, wherever they came from. If we bring solar to them, we're also impacting them in one way or another, in the big or small ways. But then also, from these girls, we can actually teach them what solar means, what renewable energy means, what sustainability means, what energy efficiency meant at a school level, and see ways of how they can actually translate it back home. And that is what the concept of Cool Green campaign. So the first award I ever won was because of the Cool Green campaign. And the dream was to let's grow Cool Green campaign and transition it to other schools in Kenya, and see how we can actually build a whole business concept of Cool Green campaign. Unfortunately, it never really kicked off because Wilkista went to school. Then also for me, I got married and moved to live in Makindu in Makueni County. Yeah. So it was a bit hard trying to manage the Cool Green campaign from where I was. I didn't have money and quit my job. The project ended and I didn't have so much to do. Then I moved now back home to live with my husband because I was newly married and also I was pregnant. Yes.
Okay. So, Norah, I'm learning so much from you, and especially the fact that you when people see Norah being recognized internationally, some people may think it took 1 year, 2 years. It's a long journey, and that's the journey we're talking about today. And I'm so happy that you're opening up and sharing that journey with people so that they can be inspired and they can see the steps. Like, how many years do you think it took you to reach to the point of coming from now you're married, you have a child, to founding Drop Access and all that? Do you think it took a lot of time?
Yeah, it did. It took a very long time to build this to the point where I feel like finally it's now coming to fruition. It really did, because I started working within the impact space in 2016 when the Cool Green campaign concept came into life. Then it was implemented in 2017. Then in 2017, when I got married, and things shifted a bit for me because I was living in Nairobi then. Then I had to move to Makindu in Makueni County because I got married, I was pregnant, wanted to raise the child as a family together. And also my husband James was actually living and working in Makindu. So I had to dump everything that I was doing, put it on pause, and go settle my life in Makindu and figure out how can I continue from there. And I actually did try. I did try pushing the Cool Green campaign from Makindu. It wasn't really so easy because some things needed me to travel back. I didn't have a job then, weren't doing so well financially, so I could literally travel often. I also didn't even have a car, so it had to be public means. So if I careful with public means, also it takes a very long time for just things to be implemented. But then also I was different, I became a mom in 2018, January 2018. I became a mom living in Makindu with a small baby, first time mom. Things were just so different. I was busy in a different way. There was this whole mental space that I was in to raise a child and do it the best way, because a new mom, I really struggle a lot. I used to feel like I was doing a lot of things wrong. I'm used to things going the way I expect them to go from an engineering perspective. So I couldn't really take the engineering expectations of principles like if you combine A and B, you should get C. This is motherhood. It's totally different. You don't even know how your child is going to wake up tomorrow. And I really did struggle trying to figure out where my career is going as I become a new mom. So I decided that maybe I could try building the Cool Green campaign concept from where I was, starting from Makueni in Makindo. And I started now doing more of mentorships, teaching people about Cool Green campaign and what renewable energy is. I found out also, given the economic level of the communities that I was interacting with in Makindo, when it comes to renewable energy, for them to truly adopt something, the best they could actually do, most of them, was to get clean cooking solutions. So I also started distributing, clean cookstoves, energy-saving jikos, teaching people how to make briquettes, just as a way of building up that clean renewable energy solution that people could finally adopt. And with time, I think I just fell off, really. I just stopped doing what I was doing. I couldn't do it anymore. I got busy as a mom, and I just stopped working in the sector. And I stopped doing internship. I stopped working for the Cool Green campaign. I stopped doing energy audits for industries. I was doing energy audits places like Mombasa, traveling back home with a small baby. It was just too difficult. And I struggled so much because it actually affected me mentally. There is this drive and passion that I have, but then there's the child who needs my full responsibility. Then there's being a wife, and I live in Ushago. There's so much expectation of being a wife in Ushago. Like, it just took a toll on me, and I just completely stopped working within the renewable energy sector and engineering. So for a period of time, actually started working in the same company where my husband was working. It's a hospital. They have a family hospital, a rural hospital. And I got absorbed because I was idle, I needed a bit of stability, also a bit of income so that we're able to raise the child the best way, and also just to ensure that we do survive as a family and also are meaningful in the family. So I started working for the family hospital, and Rachel, I used to work in the kitchen. I used to manage the kitchen. I used to manage the kitchen staff. Pretty much ensure that all the operations from the kitchen are running smoothly and feeding into the main hospital. And then I looked at it like it's a job that I needed to do, and also it's a family business, and like I'll develop passion for it. And I slowly started developing passion for actually working at the hospital. And by the time I was actually leaving the hospital, I had actually helped the hospital to advance their kitchen. We pretty much developed a world-class kitchen for the hospital. And it also still goes back to, I like making and breaking and just building things. So the hospital was going through a program called Safe Care, where they have to comply with so many standards so that they rise their rank, as a recognized private hospital. And one of the things that had to be implemented is the kitchen had to change to be able to be a proper hospital that is recognized by Safe Care and so many international standards. So I settled into a project of building a new kitchen, and we built a new kitchen for the hospital. And I remember there's a time the hospital was audited for Safe Care standard, and the kitchen scored the highest. And I came to realize again, there's much more I can actually do as Norah. Like, when I get my mind into something, I get so fixated that I need it to work and I need it to be the best. And I decided, there's so much energy that I have and the passion that I have, I need to build it into something that truly defines what I want to do. And that's renewable energy for communities. That's solutions that actually truly impact communities. And that is where the first organization that I founded, Drop Access NGO, was born. So I started Drop Access NGO as a way of distributing solar lighting solutions, because I saw there were no proper solar lighting solutions, training on clean cooking and providing clean cooking solutions, the energy-saving jikos, and also training farmers how they can afford their own solar pumping. So most of the work that I did out of the NGO was fully funded through family, through friends, through us, myself. The salary I'll get, I'll actually put it into the NGO, buying clean cooking jikos, reselling them to ensure that the NGO actually gets money. Then slowly I started getting partnerships and interests, because I did a lot of capacity development within Makueni, to farmers, to communities, or just how to adopt clean energy solution.